It's time for City Beat, your source for all the latest news on the city of Thompson. Only on 102.9 CHTM, your radio station.
Here today.
Good morning and welcome to City Beat here on 102.9 CHTM. My name is Stuart, and today I'm joined by Councillor Colleen Smook.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Let's start things off. Talking City Council, it's coming back and getting back into the swing of things as we get into September tomorrow. Council will be on Tuesday because it's Labor Day on Monday. What should people expect from the meeting on Tuesday, and are there any major resolutions or bylaws on the agenda that we maybe didn't see during the summer months because it was quieter?
No, being this is our first council back after the summer, there'll be some, minor cleanups and things to do. Nothing major that should be controversial on it, but come out Tuesday night, 7 p.m. and see for yourself. And there's question and answer period before that you can ask us some questions.
And make sure to get there early to make sure you can get a seat. It's been quite busy the past few meetings, even in the summer, before that. So.
Yeah, it's very nice to see this term bringing people out to council. It's sort of breath of fresh air when you used to watch it and there used to be one or two people in the gallery.
Now, moving on from City Council, there are a couple of events coming on. Could you talk about the final concerts in the park? That's taking place tomorrow.
Tomorrow, the Average Joe's concerts in the park. It's been a very great summer, able to have them in the park. They haven't had to be moved to VRCC, and so everybody's looking forward to the last day tomorrow. Labor Day events. The City of Thompson actually doesn't do anything themselves, but steel workers, they have a big event at the Union Hall Monday, September the 4th, and they do invite the public to join them. The Health and Leisure Mart is coming up on September the 8th and 9th, and that's the case for people to sign up their kids or adults into the different sports or gyms and that. It's a good time to be had by all just to come check it out. Some of the recreation sports fill up very fast, so it's recommended that you come out. I'm sure some of the different committees, city staff included, they're looking to man the table, so if you have a few minutes of free time, get a hold of your sport or that, and I'm sure they'll give you a job.
School is also starting up next week. The first day of classes for students is on the 7th. There's a few PA days and assembly days and stuff like that happening beforehand. Could you remind everyone about the school zone speed limits? Those come into effect tomorrow.
Yes, September 1st, in order for everybody to get synced in with the kids going back to school. As of September 1st, your speed limits are 30 kilometers an hour in the elementary schools, and the R.D. Parker stays at 50 kilometers an hour with regular speed zone. So please slow down for the children. They do dart out. Playgrounds and that are very important.
Now, we have some submitted questions here that were submitted. The first one is, why isn't the city doing anything with regards to the beaver dam at Juniper Park?
That's a good one. I drive by it every day. We actually are. Last year we hired somebody to get beavers out of it, and it did, and I see the water, the city did work on draining the water out of it here. It's actually on our agenda for September the 7th. Public Works meeting, and we do have to definitely do something to get that under control before the winter comes. Kids are walking in the water. The water's got a lot of algae on it now, so it's just not a safe issue. So we will be addressing that in the near future.
And the other question that was submitted was, a few months ago on the program, the mayor said that Cree Road from Thompson Drive to Thompson Drive was one lane each way, and then why was it painted then a four-lane road with narrow lanes, and if it's not supposed to be that way, and the mayor said otherwise?
Well, I don't want to say the mayor can be wrong, but I guess he was that day. Because basically for the last couple years, from the co-op to the Burntwood Road on Cree Road is just 2 lanes. And from KFC to Thompson Drive has been 4 lanes and was designated that way. And it has been painted. And on that note, the major lines in town have been painted this year in August. Last year they didn't get here till September, and we got snow in October, so people didn't even get used to driving on it. Having them done in August means all summer you're driving without the lines. which is a bit controversial, and we'll be talking about that in budget, because if we wanted the lines painted in the spring or June sort of thing, by now the lines would be gone, so we would either go without lines now, or we'd have to paint them a second time, which is a cost to the city and taxpayers. At this time of year, our feeling is if they're painted, especially in August, it gives people a time to adapt to where your lanes are for the winter driving, because by October we're not going to see the lines anyway. And now that they use a latex paint and it's basically standard in what has to be used, the paint just doesn't last. Even if you look at some of the crosswalks that we've painted this summer, the paint is coming off them and may have to be redone when the kids go to school.
And that's the perfect segue into our next topic of conversation, construction. Could you give us an update on some of the major projects that are going on around the city right now?
Sure. The wastewater treatment plant, it's well underway. They're still doing some of the concrete foundation. Was a huge project that, but now they're starting to install some of the sewer mains, getting ready for work on the project coming to it.
That's on that. Is there any update on Selkirk?
Selkirk, they have been, it's been a long process. They've been doing brickwork the last couple of weeks. There's been a little problem with, I guess, vandalism at night as such, with people taking the piles of bricks and throwing them out. Yesterday morning on Mystery Lake Road, I had to stop and pick up quite a few. They're hauling the bricks away. But the guys are working on the sidewalks in that area. The paving crew is now in town, and it is slated right after the long weekend to start paving that. And once they start that, it won't take long.
And then finally, there's been a lot of water main renewal been going on throughout the city all summer, and then also the water flushing that has been happening in different neighborhoods the past few days. On
the water main renewal, Beaver Crescent's done. I'm not sure if all the remediation work's totally finished. I apologize, I didn't drive through there. And there's still ongoing work on Selkirk and Churchill Drive, but that should be winding up in the next short period. And the flushing of the lines, something the city's finally been able to get on to for the last few years again, because there has been less water breaks. We have a bit more time, and that just cleans the sediment out of the lines. The areas that we're doing in it, you might have a little bit of discoloration in your water, but basically it's still safe.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Councillor Smook. Unless you had something else you wanted to talk about.
Yes, I just wanted to note that the smoke in the area for people with breathing problems, it's basically coming from the Island Lake area, is what I've been told today. So just be careful if anybody has congestion problems. That is the thing. And the ice is in at the CA Nesbitt Arena, so if anybody wants to book ice time, there's still time available in that. There's already been some hockey schools and other things going on there.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thank you.
If you have a question you'd like answered next week, email them in advance to CHTMnews@arcticradio.ca. For City Beat here on 102.9 CHTM, I'm Stuart Walter.